Welcome back, fans, to another exciting edition of Culture Shock Wrestling Viral. I'm Mike Roycroft. I'm pleased to be joined once again by my colleague Brian Caige. Brian, we're lucky to have you with us after last week, a shocking turn of events. A new faction has formed here in Culture Shock Wrestling, and they are called the Fist. They not only left an impact on the building, they left a personal impact on you.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll do my best to kind of contain my excitement over Cali Kid and Maze and that bunch of lackeys that they had with them, and more importantly, my utter disappointment in Darius Kane there for his cowardice. But I'll do my best. My head's still a little woozy, but we'll see what happens here.
Well, speaking of that, coming up today, the man who is called the second in command of the Fist, Maze. He will be defending that Formula One championship in a 2 out of 3 falls match against David Prime.
Yeah, Maze, he's held that Formula One title for a little while. Not as long as me, but, that's fine. Good for you, buddy. But David Prime had him on the verge a couple of weeks ago, but Maze getting himself disqualified to hold on to that title rather disgracefully, I might add. We'll see what happens when it's 2 out of 3 falls and David Prime is gunning for him.
Also in regards to the Formula One Championship, we are starting off with a number 1 contenders match. 2 amazing performers, Reagan, Bryce, and the Puerto Rican luchador, Locura, will go at it.
Yeah, Locura made his impact. You saw it a few weeks ago here in that triple threat match with Zane Stevens and Mikey Webb. And Reagan Bryce, no stranger to the fans of Mossy Head. Always exciting to watch. 2 very good contenders going at it for the number 1 contendership for the Formula One Championship.
So a lot of action coming up, fans. Stay tuned. We want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, 911wrestling.com, and also our friends at the Front Row Fanatics. And now, we are going to go to that number 1 contenders match.
And here we are, fans. A number 1 contendership match for the Formula One title. Brian Locura, relative newcomer here at CSW, but he's picking up a lot of fans already, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. He made his debut in Mossy Head a couple of weeks ago. You saw it here on the program in that triple threat match with Zane Stevens, and he definitely made an impact with the fans, and that's really the thing that matters the most in CSW. That's something that CSW management really takes into account when affording title opportunities, and you can see it after just 1 appearance here. He's got a shot to get in for the Formula One title.
He's got his hands full with the challenger here, Reagan Bryce. No stranger to CSW himself.
The Alabama Jamma, the varsity captain. This guy is just an athletic stud. You're not going to find anybody more athletic, more naturally gifted in the ring than Reagan Bryce.
I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this match. It should be really action-packed and high-flying between these 2 great athletes. Lock-up, collar and elbow, arm twist by Reagan Bryce. Reagan's going to have to keep Locura grounded, I would think, to play to his strengths in this match. Wouldn't you say, Brian?
Well, one thing I've noticed, and it's a universal thing in Mossy Head, that low ceiling really takes away the ability of a lot of luchador-style wrestlers and a lot of what you would just call the high flyers. So I don't think Reagan needs to worry so much about that. What Reagan has to worry about is the quickness of Locura that comes with all luchadors, and there you see it right there.
Indeed, right on display. Several reversals and arm drags here. Great action. Typical of CSW. Reagan Bryce coming up behind Locura. Kick out.
And there you see the sign of respect from both of these guys. There you go. Handshakes all across the board.
Very evenly matched.
And you see that. You see Reagan turn around and square off. You see Locura. Neither one of them really kind of charging in. Both kind of feeling each other out here in the early going.
No doubt about it. Another lockup now. Locura with an elbow to Reagan Bryce's face. Another great arm drag. Lots of reversals here. These guys are trying to stay 1 step ahead of each other, which is pretty much a trigonometry problem in school with these 2. Reagan Bryce with the reversal. Oh, great Hurricane Rana head scissors type maneuver from Locura. He's got Reagan on the outside. Big dive over the top rope. My goodness.
And that's very smart of Locura, not allowing an athlete of the caliber of Reagan Bryce to catch his breath. Using that 10 count to your advantage, you know. This isn't 1990s WCW. You can go over the top rope. And Locura definitely made sure to use every trick he can in the rule book to his advantage.
Locura in firm control now. Calling for some fan support. Oh, big reversal into the corner. Oh, great display of strength and a backbreaker there. Reagan Bryce catching him in midair.
Great heads-up move from Reagan Bryce, and that's what I'm talking about. That it factor that Reagan Bryce has. It's something that you see in all athletes, that instinct to know what's coming even when you can't really see it. Reagan Bryce showing that, putting it on display.
That awesome backbreaker definitely grounding Locura, and you see Bryce, the veteran, going right after the back, keeping him on the defensive. Big suplex now. Beautifully done.
And I preach it all the time when I see these kind of matchups. When you're dealing with speed, the way that Reagan Bryce is, or when you're dealing with power, you have to take away the midsection. You have to take away the core strength of your opponent, because that is where all of that speed, that's where all of that power comes from. In the case of Locura, oh, good decoy in there by Locura. In the case of Locura, you take away the midsection, you take away the core, and you're taking away his wind. You're taking away his ability to get that agility going.
Big power slam by Reagan Bryce. Continues to go back and forth here. 2. Close call there.
Yeah, I really think this match could probably go for quite a while. I really don't see either man having an advantage yet.
Amazing cardio conditioning it takes for these two men to go at it the way they are. And now Reagan Bryce locking in a butterfly arm lock type move there. And punching back to the kidneys at the same time. Brutal maneuver there.
And that, once again, like I said, working on that core, taking away the speed and the agility of Locura one blow at a time.
He certainly got him locked up here. Let's see how Locura can get out of this one. Forearm shot to the ribs there. And back to the back. Once again, keeping with the strategy. Reagan Bryce keeping Locura down. Shots in the corner now, forearms. Tell the referee he's got it. Reversal by Locura. Over the top rope. Catches, oh, big kick.
Beautiful
by
kick to the back of the head there. And you got to think Reagan Bryce might be a little dazed. It definitely seems like it right now. Another one!
He's certainly dazed now.
Beautiful Ezenguri in the corner.
This may be Locura's opportunity to take him out. He's got him dazed and confused right now.
Yeah, but you can already tell Locura's pace has been slowed by those shots to the midsection, and there's another one.
Oh, big neck break.
Beautiful neck breaker from Reagan Bryce. That athleticism, that know where you are mentality that just comes with the pure athleticism of Reagan Bryce.
Again, just back and forth here. Two very skilled, very evenly matched competitors. I'm sure Reagan Bryce is looking to use that Northern Light suplex finisher he uses. He calls it the Get Shovelized. But right now, Locura trying to make a comeback here with some more kicks to the head and upper body of Reagan Bryce. And Reagan goes back to the back once again on Locura.
And Reagan is, he is a great technical wrestler, but he is also a scrapper. He will do whatever he has to do to get an advantage in a match. You see it there, the houndstooth on his tights, the Alabama mentality. He is a champion in his blood.
Not only that, Reagan has spent some time training with the one and only Booker T, former world's champion in Houston. Reagan Bryce picking up a lot of pointers there. But Locura with a great head scissors takedown again.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, but Reagan Bryce spent... The beautiful Alabama bowling ball uppercut.
Very effective, knocking Locura down.
This could be it. 1, 2.
Oh, kicks out. Bryce showing his frustration now.
But you mentioned it. Reagan Bryce spent a lot of time at the Booker T school in Houston. Spent time on many episodes of Booker T's Reality of Wrestling.
Oh, big kick.
Good kick, and Reagan goes to the floor. But you got to think, Reagan's been in there with some of the best up-and-coming talent in the world. Coming back to Mossy Head to put it all on display.
Oh, nice avoiding of that dive there. Locura adjusting as well. Now they're going back and forth on the ring apron.
This is a very dangerous situation here for both of these guys.
Oh, big kick by Locura.
Oh!
Wow! Big DDT on the apron. Locura took a bad fall on the floor, too. It might have hurt him just as badly. Let's check out a replay of that. There's that big kick. And
no doubt that took a lot out of Locura landing on the floor like that, but
look at that impact on the face of Reagan Bryce.
One of the secrets of wrestling is knowing where in the ring you are. The closer you are to the middle of the ring, really the less of an impact you're going to have on your body. Right there on the edge like that, this could be it.
No,
oh!
Bryce kicks out. Amazing fortitude.
Amazing.
I mean, Locura really planted him face down on the ring apron.
Like
there.
I was saying, right there on the edge of the ring like that is the hardest landing you can take on a wrestling ring. That's where all the support in the frame of the ring is. Going face down like that with a DDT, I don't know how Reagan's still standing.
Now they're going at it. Fists and forearms. Looks like they're losing their temper a little bit. Frustration showing in both men. Locura goes to the ropes, tries to roll him out. Reversal by Reagan Bryce.
Oh!
That was it. The 1, 2, 3.
Look at these replays here, and you'll just see the kind of back and forth action that we had in this match. Reagan Bryce coming through after this DDT right here.
The action you'll see at CSW, second to none.
Reagan Bryce. Great wherewithal, reversal after reversal after reversal. And Reagan Bryce is the new #1 contender for the Formula One title.
Well earned.
There you have it, folks. Another exciting match, and we have a new #1 contender for the Formula One title in Reagan Bryce, coming up victorious over Locura.
Yeah, no doubt. An exciting match from two of the more exciting superstars you will see in Culture Shock Wrestling. Definitely both of these guys deserve it, but Reagan Bryce coming out on top.
No doubt about it. And that's coming up on February 23rd at the Mossy Head Community Center at Battle Lines. That's our next live event. You're going to see Reagan Bryce challenge for the Formula One title against whoever emerges victorious in our next match on this program. The defending champion Mays putting it on the line against David Prime. We also have another heavyweight title match on the card, don't we?
Definitely. The homeless hero, Nathan Beast, has been making the way up the ladder in CSW, both in fan popularity and in in-ring performance. He's finally going to get a shot at the heavyweight title against the winner of a match that you'll see next week on Viral, a rematch between Joe Gibson and Lane Smart. I mean, Nathan's going to have his work cut out for him, but I think he's one of those guys that he is always up to the challenge. He finally gets his shot at CSW Glory.
Certainly a lot of people are going to be looking forward to that. One match we do have set in stone, though, that's going to be the return of Cyrus LeVay. You saw here a few weeks ago on Culture Shock Wrestling Viral, that brutal attack by Matt Havard. Well, Cyrus is healed up, and he's got his name on a contract and a date set on February 23rd with the man who attacked him, Matt Havard.
Yeah, Matt Havard, Cyrus's former protege. Just to give you an idea of how personal this battle is becoming between these two guys. Not only was Matt Cyrus's former protege, his former student, but the scar left on Cyrus's head from this attack that busted him open, that separated his shoulder to where he couldn't compete in January, Cyrus has named that scar Matthew. I mean, this is going to be an intense encounter that you will only see February 23rd in the House of Hardcore.
Certainly don't envy Matt Havard having to deal with an angry Cyrus LeVay. But coming up right now, we do have a championship match for the Formula One title.
All right, fans, we are here. David Prime entering the ring for the Formula One title championship match, taking on the champion Mays.
Yeah, these two have been going at it for a few months now, and David Prime, this is really kind of his last opportunity, at least this go-around, for the Formula One title. He gets a little bit more of a leeway, a little bit more of an advantage here. 2 out of 3 falls, winner take all for the Formula One title.
And look at Mays. He's so in love with that belt. I bet he sleeps with it at night, probably showers with it in the morning.
If you ask me, it's more of a desecration of that belt that he's carrying it. I mean, you saw what happened last week with the Fist, him joining in as the quote-unquote second in command, and the Fist is really going to have to answer for what happened last week, and Mays is no exception to that.
We hear the chant go up that haunts Mays' nightmares, Oompa Loompa. 2 out of 3 falls. These guys are really going to have to pace themselves, Brian.
Yeah, no doubt. The thing about a 2 out of 3 falls match is you don't want to go down early and get at a disadvantage. It's something to...
Oh, Mays sneaking in with a roll-up. Wow.
Exactly what I was talking about.
Prophetic words from Brian Caige. And Mays staying on the advantage now, not giving him a breather.
David Prime is now in a situation that he did not want to find himself in, because now, if you're David Prime, one more fall and you lose the match. You lose your chance at the Formula One title.
Uncharacteristic mistake from the veteran David Prime. Let's see if he can come back from it. Mays, impressive flip over the top rope. David Prime catches him. Let's see what he does with the fist member. Big power slam. You know, it's got to be a boost to Mays' ego, not only having that title. He's now joined this new faction that's running roughshod all over CSW. I know you're not too happy about that, Brian.
Yeah, well, Mays has always proclaimed that he's the greatest, but one thing that you do if you're not the if you are the greatest, I should say, one thing you don't do is rely on other people to help you. If you're the greatest, you can go out there and do it on your own. You don't get disqualified with straight kicks to the groin like what happened last month between these two. You don't go out there and say you're the greatest. You just prove it. That's something that I always did, and people didn't really like it. But I went out there and I won matches. Mays, on the other hand, is relying on dirty tactics. He's relying on every trick that he can pull out of the rule book.
Oh, face planter there by David Prime. You make a good point, Brian. Nonetheless, there's strength in numbers. And Mays is taking advantage of that with his cohorts in the Fist. However, they aren't here to help him right now. He's on his own against David Prime. You mentioned how close Prime came last time around in the ring with Mays to taking that title. It took a low blow, intentional disqualification for him to hold on to that title that he covets and loves so much. Now, he's got a 2 out of 3 falls of David Prime, and he's up 1-0. Big neck breaker coming up here for David Prime.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing and the irony of this 2 out of 3 falls match is that it doesn't matter how the falls come. The first 1 to 2 is the champion. Mays can get himself disqualified. It still counts as a fall. If this gets to a 1-1 tie, a blatant disqualification for Mays will lose him the title.
David Prime seems to be working on the neck of Mays right now. Look at that very effective neck breaker. He's twisting and contorting that neck, limiting the movement of Mays. Again, going after the core, as you say, with the body.
David Prime, a very crafty, a very smart, going for this back chop that he loves to...
Whoa,
Mays saw it coming. That's one of those things that David Prime loves to do. Get you in a snapmare, lock your arms in, and deliver the most vicious chop to the back you will ever see. Great move by Mays there, though.
Dropping foot first on the top rope. Pretty amazing. Chance to catch his win and come back.
And you know, I've harped on this already, but Mays loves to call himself the greatest. You know something else that you don't do if you're the greatest? You don't relegate yourself to being second in command of anything. If you're the greatest and you're going to have a bunch of guys helping you out, you better be the leader of that band.
Interesting point. I wonder what Mays and Kelly could think about that situation. For the time being, they're on the same page. Mays with a big kick to the back of David Pride. Choking him down now, taking advantage of that 5 count, taking the wind away from the veteran David Pride.
Well, and I mentioned it before, a disqualification counts as a fall regardless, but Mays being up 1-0, he could take a disqualification here if it leads to a good enough advantage to where he feels he can get the second fall because of it.
Definitely could be a strategy there. Fine. Coming back with punches. Mays a rake to the eye. Once again, taking every shortcut he can. The Bruiserweight Mays to hang on to that Formula 1 championship.
Well, both of these guys, like I've said, are very crafty veterans, and there you
Nice
see
drop kick.
one of the more beautiful drop kicks in independent wrestling. I gotta give credit to Mays for that.
And the first guy who'll tell you that is Mays. Goes for the cover.
But both of these guys are crafty veterans, but they're crafty in a different sense. David Prime likes to slow the match down. He likes to put you on his level. Mays, on the other hand, likes to take shortcuts. He likes to be lazy in the ring. He likes to do as little as possible and still get the result he wants.
Some fans thinking there's a bit of a weaselly aspect, if you will, to Mays' in-ring work.
Beautiful spine buster! This could be the fall!
Yes, indeed. It's evened up now. David Prime really rattling the brains of Mays with that big spine buster.
As you see, both men are spent already. We've still got one fall to go. And Mays is, I've taken that spine buster before. Mays has got to be in a world of hurt. David Prime, you can tell the pain on his face right now.
High impact maneuver for sure. Mays seems to be moving a little bit slower of the two. Prime big punch on the mat there. Almost shades of Jerry the King Lawler. Mays with kicks to the head. David Prime once again going for the neck, upper body area of Mays, concentrating on that.
And David Prime definitely has not only the momentum in the match, but David Prime,
Jawbreaker by Mays.
I was just about to say, you got to think David Prime has the adrenaline rush going.
You see Mays showing the weariness, the toll that's been taken on him from this 2 out of 3 falls marathon match here with David Prime.
Like I said, a very lackadaisical cover attempt from Mays, trying to do as little as possible to get the result that he wants.
And he's got his knee in the back, pulling the arms back, applying maximum pressure to David Prime. Certainly no love lost between these 2 men. It's become personal for all these near losses.
Good tornado DDT there out of the corner from Mays.
Indeed, this could
Crawling
be
over
it.
to the cover.
On the ropes, David Prime, the veteran. Like you said, always knowing where he is in the ring. Might have saved him from certain defeat right there. Going back and forth now, albeit a bit slower. Again, the toll these kind of matches take.
And the
on
southpaw.
human
The southpaw David Prime laying in with those left shots like thunder to the skull.
body. David Prime getting a second win. Oh, big crash into the corner turnbuckle by David Prime. He's got Mays down. Can he get the 3 count? Not quite.
David Prime, you can tell the exhaustion is starting to take its toll. Couldn't get a full hook in there on the vertical press.
Mays not looking too energetic either, though. They definitely beat the wind out of each other. Reversal here.
Mays with a double leg takedown and trying to give some shots of his own.
Again, going for the shortcut here with the choke.
And no, that's not a short joke.
What's he going to do with him here?
Does it bruise your face?
That's That's his finishing maneuver. It may
That
be
could
all
be it.
over. Well, gotta hand it to him. Mays pulled out the victory here.
Yeah.
2 pins over David Prime.
Can somebody check that knee pad? He's got a history of that thing being loaded, but either way, Mays retains, and he didn't even have to cheat.
There you have it, fans. Another exciting match, and Mays comes out victorious. He retains that Formula One title in a hard-fought contest against David Prime, 2 out of 3 falls. That does solidify one of the matches coming up for our next event, February 23rd at the Mossy Head Community Center, Battle Lines. We are going to see Mays defend that title against Reagan Bryce.
Yeah, and Nathan Beast finally getting a shot at CSW Glory when he will take on the winner of our main event next week on the program between Joe Gibson and Lane Smart. But Nathan Beast finally getting a chance at the CSW heavyweight title on February 23rd.
That should be something. And another match I know a lot of people are looking forward to, which should be a very personal vendetta type of match. We are going to see Cyrus LeVay make his return against the man who injured him, Matt Havard.
Yeah, and you talk about personal vendettas, nothing gets more personal than what happened between myself and the Fist last month in Mossy Head. And I've been in talks with CSW management, and you know, being a former champion, I do have a little bit of pull. And you can bet your money, come hell or high water, the Fist is going to have to answer to Brian Caige.
Well, we'll see how that develops, folks. In the meantime, we want to tell you what's coming up next week on Culture Shock Wrestling Viral right here. We are going to see a match between Buddha Bushido against Extreme G.
Yeah, Buddha Bushido, certainly one of the up-and-coming superstars with popularity with the fans, trying to make his name, trying to carve out his little niche in CSW. Can he do it against somebody a little more established like Extreme G?
And also, as Brian mentioned, we're going to see a heavyweight championship match for the CSW title. Joe Gibson gets his rematch against Lane Smart. The winner of that match going on to Battle Lines to battle Nathan Beast.
Yeah, this is another one of those matches that just boils over with anticipation. You saw Joe on the verge of victory a few weeks ago here on the program. Had the claw cinched in on Lane Smart before being knocked out by that vicious punch. But you got to think, what kind of role is Chris Corbin going to play? The self-proclaimed manager of champions, the self-proclaimed Havoc champion. He's always got to be in the back of your mind. And so if you're Joe Gibson, you really got to have a good game plan going in this time around, knowing what to expect from Lane Smart.
Just another great reason to tune in right here to Culture Shock Wrestling Viral next week. We appreciate you watching. On behalf of my colleague Brian Caige, I'm Mike Roycroft. Thank you very much.